Good evening, everyone. This is Mitch. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Friday and a great weekend so far. I got you an update on the weather and what's going on with the snow potential as we're getting into tomorrow evening, tomorrow overnight, into Sunday morning, and Sunday during the day for your Super Bowl Sunday. This is really not a Valentine's Day event anymore. This is really just going to be for the latter part of the weekend. So I'm going to give you an update on that. Not going to keep you very long tonight, and we're really just going to focus on the snow threat, not talking about the severe weather potential as we get into next week. I'll start to break that down the latter part of the week once we get through with this event, and we start to get a little bit more confidence on what's going to happen with that. But if you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it, and I appreciate all the support. All the success we had in January is really carried on to February, even though it hasn't been quite as crazy or active. So it just thank y'all. Thank y'all for giving me a platform to talk about what I love, which is the weather. I'm very blessed with this, and I'm very happy, and thank y'all. Just that's all I can say is I really appreciate it. And so if you guys haven't subscribed, definitely do that. Like the video if you like it. Hit me up on my social media links over here. And I know not everybody's a big Twitter person, and not everybody's a big social media person with all the craziness going on in the world right now. But if you are, hit me up there. I'd give constant updates, and it's just a great way to stay up to date. So if you guys got anything I can pray about, put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over them. It gives others an opportunity to do so too. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm always trying to use my platform as a way to glorify God, and I think that everybody has a gift, everybody has a strength, and it's used to glorify God. And that's just the way I think, and I think that's the way a lot of people think. But here we go. This is going to be a different way of showing you what's going on here as far as energy. I've been showing you the last several videos, shortwave energy, which look like blobs of orange, which kind of is what this is showing also. But this is a different way to look at it. This is the 250 wind stream lines, which basically shows us where our jet streams are. So this is the northern jet, this is the southern jet, or the subtropical jet. So what happens here is you have a low pressure popping off the subtropical jet. This brings moisture up, and there's a low pressure here. At the same time, you have a northern jet energy or northern stream energy. What happens is they kind of phase together or come together as we're getting into late tomorrow night into Sunday morning, your Super Bowl Sunday morning. Now, what happens when that happens here is when they combine, that creates an area of heavier moisture, enhances moisture here in the mid-Atlantic over the mountains of North Carolina, maybe far eastern areas of Tennessee, West Virginia, into the mid-Atlantic, into southern areas of New England, maybe even all the way up to Boston, New York City. So what that happens here is it creates a band of light to moderate, potentially heavy snow for just a few hours, not very long. So let's jump over to the GFS and show you what I mean, which we've been showing for the last several videos. We get this going here in time. There's going to be a little moisture here in the deep south and mid-south tomorrow. I'm going to show you this on the HRRR model, which is showing a really small band that could work its way through areas of northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and Tennessee, and maybe Kentucky, that could throw some light flurries and snow showers for you guys tomorrow afternoon and evening as the cold air moves in. Getting into Sunday morning, the wee hours of the morning, I'm talking about like 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning, you start to have some moisture that increases here in response to those two pieces of the jet stream really merging together. So all of a sudden, quickly, you get an area of heavier precipitation and develops over areas of Virginia, which I really think is going to be the jackpot in this situation, which will only be a few inches of snow, I really think. And you have snow in Washington, D.C., Maryland. Now, if your areas in the areas of the furthest northwest areas of Maryland, then I think that y'all might get a little left out in this, but we'll see. We'll see how this trends. And then as you are getting into your Sunday morning, let's keep it right here. A little bit of snow all the way up into Boston, just about. A little bit of snow for Long Island, New Jersey, the Delmarva area. And then as you get into your Sunday afternoon, then when it gets into a little bit of a less favorable time of the day as far as temperatures, because you're in the warmer part of the day, and the temperatures are going to be marginal with this in general anyways. What I mean by marginal is they're going to be high, and obviously the higher the temperature gets in any levels of the atmosphere, the harder it is to get wintry precipitation. So I think we all know that. But here we go. This area of moisture moves into the North Carolina and Virginia, and then ends in the Delmarva area as maybe some light snow and light rain. And then we have to continue to watch this backside piece of energy that pivots through, throws us some flurries and snow showers as we're getting into the overnight hours of Sunday into Monday morning. And you might be waking up Monday morning, your Valentine's Day, to some snow showers and snow flurries for areas of North Carolina and Virginia, and then it moves on out. Look at the European. The European is not liking this event. It has held its own with keeping this a light event. In fact, it's trended even more lighter, I think, and it's just not budging. So if this ends up being what the Euro show is showing, this would be a huge win for the Euro is for a smaller storm. But here we go. We're getting into 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Virginia, Washington, D.C., a band of light to potentially moderate snow at times develops into central Virginia. This will stretch all the way into southern New England, including New York City, Long Island, Boston. And that's about it. By the time you get into your Sunday afternoon, the leftover moisture is pivoting through and you have a little bit of a light snow, and that's it. But let's look at the HRRR model, right? Because this is a lot more aggressive. Now, I love the HRRR model, but over the last few storms, it's kind of made me not like it as much because it hasn't been quite as accurate. But it's worth showing because it's a short-range model that gives us constant updates every hour. So the latest long-range model has a little band of snow that starts to develop in areas of maybe west central Tennessee, northern Mississippi. This begins to move through. This is a very small band. I'm talking about a band of snow that might only last maybe an hour to 2 hours, if it happens. And this is for tomorrow evening. So we're within 24 hours of this happening if it does happen. This will continue to pivot through, maybe start to dissipate. And then this is when we get into about the GFS and the HRRR model agree at this, that almost at the same exact time, you're going to have some moisture enhancement from those two pieces of energy colliding. Not really, I wouldn't even say they're really phasing together. They're more so just interacting heavily, but they do phase as far as the jet stream is concerned. And then this band, suddenly the radar will fill up, will basically fill up with moisture, and not literally, you know what I mean, but when you're looking at your radar on your phone, you will quickly see that snow will begin to fill in. The HRRR model, what is showing that's much different than the GFS, is a band of moisture that develops down here and deep into the south, into areas of Alabama and Mississippi. And this is a heavier band of snow that shows up. I'm very interested to see how this verifies because all models are going back and forth whether there's going to be moisture down here or not. And I'm just not sold on it. I'm really not. In my opinion, I think there definitely could be some flurries down in Alabama in the middle of the night tomorrow night into early tomorrow morning. I do. I think that's possible. We've seen it in these kind of setups where it's not even modeled and then you see it anyways. This, if you're taking a look at the HRRR model as if it's going to happen, this would bring some light snow into areas of Atlanta and pivot it through. But it keeps areas into the mid-Atlantic, Maryland, areas of all the way up into southeast Pennsylvania, areas of New Jersey, into a band of light to moderate snow. And then what the HRRR model does is it enhances this into southeast Virginia, pivots a band of snow as we're getting into the later morning hours of your Super Bowl Sunday morning. And this is as far out as it goes, but it's ending with a pretty nice enhancement of moisture for the Delmarva area and areas of Virginia, Maryland. And you have a little bit of snow falling into the northern areas of North Carolina, like Greensboro, Winston-Salem. But, I think at most you're going to see a dusting of snow for North Carolina. You get into central Virginia, I think you could see a couple inches of snow. NAM, what does this show? Kind of the same thing initially as the HRRR model, but one thing the NAM is showing is really this explosive area of moisture that pops up here into the mid-Atlantic, the same areas I've been saying. And what it does here is it brings it a little further west, I think, initially. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. It really cranks up the low pressure. It gets a band of heavier snow really close to the big cities like Boston, New York City, Baltimore, Philadelphia. But the backside snow making its way all the way into North Carolina as we're getting into Sunday afternoon. This is Sunday afternoon, and then it pivots on through and ends Sunday morning as some flurries. As far as snowfall accumulation, really quick look at the HRRR model with a closer look at the mid-Atlantic area. I mean, look at this. This is for 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Pouring down snow in Charlottesville, Roanoke, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, seeing some heavier snow. And places like that, and it brings a heavier band of snow into Hickory all the way down to North Carolina, gives a brief burst of snow for Raleigh. So we have to see Richmond, heavier snow as we're getting into the latter part of the morning, getting closer to noon. We'll have to see if the HRRR model flexes its guns here, as actually ends up being right. I don't know if it's going to end up being right, but we'll see. But My hunch is the HRRR model is overdone, especially for areas south. But here's what it shows. It shows well over a half a foot of snow for areas of the foothills and mountains of Virginia. It shows a little accumulating snow into areas of the rest of Virginia. It shows a swath of a few inches of snow into Washington, D.C., Baltimore, close to Philadelphia, New York City, and maybe a couple inches of snow into southern New England. But this run isn't done either. It's still snowing in these areas right here, but shows that band of snow down here very well that I just talked about when the latest HRRR model with some areas of a dusting showing up. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think y'all are going to see an inch of snow down here in southern Alabama. But we'll see. I won't be surprised if areas like Birmingham see some flurries overnight tomorrow night. Lake effect snow band definitely coming off Lake Michigan there. I haven't mentioned that much, but several inches of snow is expected there. The NAM, I mean, look at this. This latest 12 km NAM shows several inches of snow in Virginia, in the Mid-Atlantic area. This is a nice little snow for areas of us way deep in southern New England, like Long Island and Connecticut, Rhode Island, and then southeastern Massachusetts into the Cape Cod area. Cape Cod could actually see quite a few inches of snow. The NAM likes this little area into Arkansas too. I don't know about that. I don't have much faith that that'll happen. But latest GFS has remained pretty consistent the last 2 or 3 days, just like the Euro has remained pretty consistent. But the GFS, this would make for, I think, borderline winter storm warning criteria snow for areas of Virginia. Do I think there's going to be a winter storm warning? I don't, unless something trends to much more confidence that something like the GFS is going to happen. But this would bring accumulating snow all the way into North Carolina's 10-to-1 ratio, which I don't think that's going to be what the snow falls at because the temperature is going to be very marginal, but it's something to pay attention to. The Euro is much more light for everyone except Cape Cod, which gives y'all 4 inches of snow. It literally, it jackpots Virginia, but the jackpot off the Euro is about an inch of snow. So the Euro just ain't having it, and it hasn't had it for several days now. Basically, the entire time we've been watching this storm. We look at the National Weather Service. It favors more of the Euro, but it's showing a little bit more in the Euro. This is the National Weather Service forecast. They're going to go conservative with this all day, and I don't blame them. So much uncertainty with this, but they're pretty much saying this is going to be a light event. For Washington, D.C., could see an inch of snow. Delaware could see an inch of snow. Southern areas of New Jersey could see an inch of snow. And I think the most anyone's going to see is just a couple inches of snow. Notice they're not forecasting any snow down here. Nothing, maybe a trace to a dusting for areas of northern North Carolina. And they're just not liking the idea for this to be a big event of all. And I'm not either. I think at the most someone could see 4 to 6 inches of snow, and I think that's going to be just whoever gets under a nice band of snow, a mesoscale band of snow, and it just snows really hard for a few hours. But that's all I got, guys. We'll give you another update in the morning. We're going to be in range of all short-range models tomorrow morning, so I'll really take a look and see what's changed and what's not. But I hope you guys have a great start to your weekend and a great Friday night. Stay safe. God bless all y'all, and talk to you in the morning.